our first video, and secondly, I would like to thank all the people who have subscribed to our videos and liked our videos. And we will definitely, and we would like to tell our existing users that to spread this video amongst your friends and tell your friends also to like and subscribe our videos so that if in future if we upload any video, then all the users get notifications that we have uploaded new video and they can be benefited from our training videos. So today we are going to start with the training with the Staad Pro. The version of Staad Pro which I am using, which I would like to train you, is Staad Pro V8i Select Series 6. Uh, this is the welcome window which comes when we open the Staad Pro, and there are different components which shows up when we open the Staad Pro. This is the project task. Like if you want to open the new project, you can click on this. It will on clicking on this, on left clicking on this, it will give a window which will ask you about the name of the project and the location where you want to save your stat file, and the default units environment you want to work. Like suppose I have clicked on this, so it is asking for whether the structure is a space structure, plane structure, floor structure, or truss structure. This is the name of the structure which you want to give. Like suppose I have already given this training one as my file name, so I'm again giving the training one as my file name because I want to overwrite it. I have not worked anything on it. Second is the location where I want to store. This is the location where this file is being stored. Okay, this is the unit, this length unit and the force unit. This unit should not be changed for any project. If you are working on a project in a single unit system, then it should be followed for the whole project. This is very much necessary, and I put a very much emphasis on this because if you are changing the unit in between the project, although you can change it, it's not a problem, but you need to be very much careful regarding the units at all the time. So if you are working constantly on the same unit and converting all the parameters in the same unit and giving to the stat, then you won't fall into any problem, because Staad is simply a software. It's a gigo. Like whatever you will put inside this parameters you will put inside the software, it will give the results of that only. Second is the type of modeling you want to do. Like this is a space model, plane model, floor model, truss model. All these models have different uh, unique category. These are unique categories to make the model. Like space is used when you have to model the 3D structure. Okay, this plane structure when is modeled when you have some 2D structure like membranes. You have to membranes like plate analysis you have to do. You can go into the plane structure. This is truss structure. Truss structure is mainly those structure which only transfer the loads through their axial forces only. So right now I'm clicking on this space and moving further. Before also, secondly, I would like to tell you this. What this button means? The second button is the open project. Like you have made some project and then you want to reopen the project. You have to click on this and you can open the browse the location and you can open the project. For example, I want to click on. If I click on this, it will ask you the location. Where is the location of that project? If you have to give the location of your project and you have to open the file. Click on open and it will open the file. Second is the configuration, license manager, and backup manager. This configuration license manager management, you don't have to disturb it. It's already configured and you don't need to change it. Now I'm opening this training one. This is a recent file, or I click on this new project. I'll again give this training one as the file name. I have selected meter and this kilonewton as my default units, and I will work on the same units throughout the project. I click on next. This is saying because the file already exists, it is saying to replace it because haven't worked anything on my file, so I am overwriting it. Now the second window asks you regarding how you want to create the project. Like what do you want to, how do you want to go? It is asking. It's also asking how you want to go. Like if you want to add beam, you want to add plate, add solid, open structure wizard. Add beam, add plate, add solid is one and the same thing. Open structure wizard is the wizard which will help you to model the the unique type of structures, like it's a two bay 3-bay buildings, or it's a G+6 story building, or it's a truss structure building, like with some shortcuts. This is the Staad editor building. Staad editor is the option where you can type the coordinates of the structure and the few commands to model the entire structure. One thing I want to tell you over here, that the Staad modeling and Staad working is can be done by both the ways. You can go by the editor method also throughout the time, and you can go by GUI method also. That is the graphical user interface method. Then this is the building planner mode. This is the newly added to the Staad Pro, and this is added job information. So I am going with finish. Now this is the first window which will appear when you open the new project on the Staad. Now, first of all, we need to understand what all these are, these icons and these buttons means. This is the menu bar, in which in this file menu you have new, open, close, again same, report setup, save file, print, etc. In edit view we have cut, copy, paste, and edit input command file, that is editor. Then this is view, like we are going to this will come in the further when I will teach you. Then this will come, this command will be used further. This is tools, this will be again used further. This is the whole menu tab, and then this menu tab has the shortcuts over this button also, like new you will get over here also, and this is the same icon only. This is the editor icon which we got from here. This same icon and this same icon is same. This is print command, report setup. This will come when we'll come across this toolbar when we'll do the in the further lessons. This is the property page, property and specification page. This is the 3D viewing angle, like when you will view from Z direction, when we will view from, this is view from Z, then we will view from minus Z, view from minus X, view from plus X, top view, bottom view, and this is isometric view. This is the rotation buttons. When you want to view the whole structure, this is the whole structure. This is the node cursor, beam cursor, load edit cursor. Okay. Now first of all we will need to understand how the Staad works, on what principle this Staad works on. Staad works upon FEM principle, that is finite element method, and finite element method, in this method you will have 6 degrees of freedom. 6 degrees of freedom means 3 transitional and 3 rotational. If I am designating the 3 transitional degree of freedom, that is movement in X as Ux, movement in Y as Uy, movement in Z as Uz, and rotational in X as Vx, rotational in Y as Vy, and rotational in Z as Vz, then these are the 6 degrees of freedom on which the analysis would be done, and consequently from these 6 degrees of freedom, 6 types of forces would also get generated. It is Fx, Fy, Fz, Mx, My, Mz respectively. This is the basic principle on which the Staad works. Now, what is node? A node is a single element, a single point on the workspace. What is a beam? A beam is a 2D element in Staad joining in between two nodes. Nodes is a single basic element, point element, and to make a 2D element, we need 2 points. That 2 points is called nodes, 2 nodes, and joining these 2 nodes is called a beam. First of all, now what is a plate? A plate is a 4-noded element. That means 4 nodes when joined together makes a plate. It makes a surface. Okay. Now we first need to understand what is the difference between a beam and a column. Because in order to understand the Staad working, we should first understand how we are defining our structure. Because all the all the 2D elements like which are connecting between one node to another node. The Staad will call it as a beam. Staad doesn't define any column or any beam. It will define all the members as analytical beam. So we need to understand what is a beam and what is a column. First of all, what is a beam? A beam is a 2D element connecting between two nodes and taking the load mainly by flexure. Please note this point. I am writing as mainly. Mainly, why I am writing mainly? Because it's not the fact, like suppose if we are providing any structure as a beam, it won't take axial force. It will take axial force, but the tendency of taking load by the beam is mainly by the flexure. That is, the load is perpendicular to the direction of beam. If the beam is like this, the load will be perpendicular to the direction of this force, and there would be a bending in the beam. That is, bending means flexure. So beam will take load by flexure. And what is column? Column is again a 2D element connecting between two nodes, and taking the load mainly by axial force. Okay, so here I am stopping my this lecture as of today, and in the next video we'll understand further the difference between beam and column, and we'll move in the modeling of the Staad. If you like my video, then please subscribe and comment and like my videos. Thank you very much.